Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre. And we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
We're
we
back.
survived part one.
We're here to talk a bit more about 1990s Navy SEALs.
Yes.
Oh man, what's your history with the movie, Eric?
So my history of the movie began and ended for many years with the movie Clerks.
Yes.
I had not seen it up to this point for whatever reason.
So you saw Clerks before you saw Navy
SEALs?
SEALs?
I saw Clerks before I saw Navy SEALs.
That's awesome.
And just that line, the famous line in Clerks, where Randall's complaining about the stupid movies that his customers rent, and it's just some like teenage kid who picks up Navy SEALs and he goes, "Ooh, Navy SEAls," which is like a classic line.
I'm gonna find that audio and I'm gonna drop it right here.
Yeah.
They never rent quality flicks. They always pick the most intellectually devoid movie on the racks.
Ooh, Navy SEALs.
So I've known of Navy SEALs' existence sort of existentially for as long as I've known Clerks.
It's just being referenced as a bad movie.
Right, exactly. But it wasn't until years later that I saw it as an adult, promptly forgot about it, and then, I don't know, like 6 months ago, Katie and I are just like, well, let's watch a bad movie. And I'm like, oh, Navy SEALs. I forgot about it. We should watch Navy SEAls again.
What did she think of it?
She watched it and she's like, this should be the next movie you do. And now, 4 movies later, we're getting to it finally.
Shout out, Katie. Great idea.
Yes.
Great idea.
So we watched and laughed enthusiastically about Navy SEAls for its entire hour, 38-minute runtime or whatever.
So I definitely had this movie like recorded on a VHS tape. And I watched it a lot when I was probably like 10, 11, 12 years old, and thought it was great at that age.
Yeah.
And then I probably went decades without seeing it and saw it, again, maybe a few years ago and was like, holy shit, this is bad. But this would be a good one to talk about on the podcast
100%.
because it's like really bad in some weird ways.
Yeah.
And that makes for like the very best of what we do.
I mean, I just want to point out that usually we try to steelman things on this show, like give the movie the benefit of the doubt. Already in episode 1, we have given up and like made just like abandoned ship. Like I do not know how to.
If they didn't give a shit,
we're not going to.
We shouldn't give a shit either. Well, what are you drinking over there?
I'm drinking. So as usual, I always look for a nice Washington wine. I've mentioned this on the podcast before. It's the Chateau Chez Michel winery. They've got a new Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a vintage 2022. I live like 30 minutes from this winery. Went there, many, many, many times over the near 20 years I lived in Washington.
It would be awesome to live in a place where there was really good wine.
Oh, yeah.
Because Georgia, we've got wineries, but it's not like great.
No, they're okay, and you also have to drive like an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Washington has some amazing wines, though.
Well, I am crushing, what am I? I'm drinking bourbon. I'm drinking Old Granddad.
Old Granddad. I've
Great
not heard of
fucking
this.
name. Old Granddad Bottled and Bond. And it is, man, if you want to drink bourbon at a good low price, Old Granddad Bottled and Bond is like solid, like bang for your buck type. Because it's like, I don't know, $24.
Oh, that's
for a
not
bottle
bad.
or something.
That's
not bad at all.
Yeah.
And it is like 100 proof. It's got a lot of like nuance to it for a bourbon that cheap. Yeah, no regrets.
Awesome. I
might regret it in the morning.
Yeah, well,
but I'm not regretting it now.
I regret my mornings more than I should at this age, at this point.
All right. Fucking Navy SEALs, man.
All right.
Do you want to try to sum up the plot up to this point?
I will do my best. It's incredibly complicated. For reasons that are unknown and unarmed, helicopter goes and examines a crater that says it's been attacked. It's immediately shot down. We meet our SEAL team. Chief is going to get married in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He's having the worst cold feet possible. The only person who's on his side is Michael Biehn, who is the leader of our SEAL team, along with Charlie Sheen, who's the only other officer on the team, who is an absolute loose cannon. In the middle of Chief's wedding.
He's young, dumb, and full of cum, as they say.
I mean, yes. And cum he's full of it a lot. In the middle of Chief's wedding, they get a call. They abandon the wedding. And before long, we see that they're
Chief was like Saved by the Bell. Saved by the pager.
Before long, they're in, generic, Arab landscape. No, they don't identify where it actually is.
They don't give us a location until later in the film.
Right, exactly. Where the SEAL team breaks in, tries to rescue the surviving helicopter pilots and, the other crewman who's not murdered. Everything goes sideways, lots of gunfire, lots of people wounded. They get on the helicopter and they escape.
Right on.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, we got the beginnings of a plot. It only took 20 minutes to get there. But so yeah, later on, the SEAL team, they're back on the aircraft carrier, I guess, being debriefed about the rescue mission. The guys doing the debrief really didn't feel like actors.
No.
In fact, that's where one of them was the writer of the movie, Chuck Ferrer.
Yep.
And he was a real Navy SEAL, and he was like the technical advisor on the film or whatever. So I shouldn't be saying film. This is like
right, no.
This is a movie or a flick.
This is at best a flick. I mean, I don't know that I would even qualify it as a movie.
But so yeah, they're being questioned about all sorts of details about the mission, like their movements and their engagement, and like how many bad guys were killed and stuff like this. And I like the way the scene started out because I think it felt really realistic.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it was very deadpan. We're not emotional about it. It's like, okay, you came in through this window. Then where did you go?
Right.
How many people did you engage?
They need They
need a full report of exactly what happened. I'm sure that's exactly what happens after a real mission.
Agree. I was looking at this going, this seems like something that could potentially be sort of the debrief.
Every once in a while, the movie will fall into like a little zone where it's like, this I feel like is what the movie should have been like.
I mean, I feel like it's those brief moments of all that's left of the original script that the what's-his-face wrote.
Ferrer,
yeah. Like that's those chunks are all that remains of the original story.
So yeah, Rick Rossovich is saying, everything was going smoothly, and then the shit hit the fan. We got Bill Paxton in there. He's explaining his role. They're asking him, do you engage hostiles? And he said, I vaporized hostiles. Solid. But then the interaction turns like borderline hostile, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're like grilling Sheen about his reckless decision to break silence. He's pretty defiant. Again, I think all he had to say was there was plenty of loud gunfire before I shot my shotgun off or whatever and alerted all the bad guys that we were here or whatever. But they say to him, we all hear things, Lieutenant. Some of us react differently. And Sheen says, well, some of us don't react at all.
Ooh.
And I had read a thing. So I thought that was him saying some people would be so frozen they wouldn't do anything. But apparently there's some sort of ethos of the Navy SEALs that is Navy SEALs don't react, they respond.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
We don't just react without thinking. We analyze the situation and what's happening. So I think that this person was trying to explain it away. What he's actually saying is I didn't react. I responded to the environment or whatever. And I don't know.
I mean, I'm going to push back against that as a moviegoer, and that the only thing that team did in the last scene was react.
Yeah. I would also say, I don't think a real Navy SEAL is back talking their superior officer
under no
either.
circumstances. Instant dishonorable discharge.
But then we got other guys who are there who appear to be Israeli intelligence. I think they're scrolling through the video that they took at the scene. They see that video of the bloodied bad guy, this guy Shahid. They ask Sheen, hey, why'd you let this man go? And Sheen's like, I had a plane to catch.
which isn't even a good one.
But it's also like, let him go as opposed to what?
What? Right.
I guess they would have said you should have brought him with you, or
Right.
should you have just executed him right there on the spot?
But then they like withhold valuable intel right there in that moment.
he wasn't known to them.
No. How would? Yeah.
So
it's just,
what? I don't know what he could have done other than
just-
bring him with, which wasn't the mission.
Right. Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know?
But even still, it strikes me that if you've got, I don't know, I'm not planning SEAL team missions, so I'm probably way off base.
Yes, we're sitting here getting drunk on a weeknight.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Hell yeah, we are.
We're not playing a SEAL mission.
No. But also at the same time, if you find a hostage, you could be a potential asset.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Like, take the fucking asset
He could have
with
had
you.
valuable intel. That's
Right,
true.
Right. So anyway, it's irrelevant now.
But these dudes, they start whispering to each other. So later on, they're giving Michael Biehn shit about his decision to pull out without destroying the Stingers, which once again, I would have said, that wasn't our mission.
It wasn't our mission.
Right.
Right.
But he said, I had wounded men. We were under fire. He said, I didn't have time to dick around. And I tend to agree with that. Like
Yeah.
anyone who didn't get on that helicopter and fly away when they flew away probably wasn't going to make it out of there alive.
Mm-mm.
So I don't know if they would have wanted him to sacrifice themselves and the hostages. First of all, if there were no survivors, then they wouldn't have known
About
what
the
they were
Stinger
even
missions in the first
what they were
place.
even doing
Right.
there.
Right.
But Bean says, the intelligence that we received ahead of the mission was bullshit.
Mhm.
He said there's no word about the Stingers being there. There's also no warning that there's going to be a fucking 100 guys there.
Yeah.
So his commanding officer warns him, watch how you're talking to the naval intelligence guys or whatever. This guy, though, the commanding officer, another character who's just featured heavily throughout the movie and literally doesn't have a name.
Nope.
He's the guy who's in the background of almost every scene
Yeah.
when they're like back at headquarters or whatever. It's weird how some movies have memorable character names and then other movies you couldn't tell me the name of the character. Movies that I've seen like maybe similar amount of times. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like a function of good screenwriting or if it's a function of the movie being good.
I think it's a
Or what?
combination of things. I think good, definitely good screenwriting. I mean, I think repetition does work, and a good screenwriter can layer in reasons to say someone's name without it feeling, like
Weird.
forced.
This
Yeah.
movie didn't even try.
didn't even try. Yeah, right, exactly.
Like, I don't think if you'd asked me name one character's name from Navy SEALs,
right.
I could have been like, when I would have maybe said Hawkins.
Mm,
I don't even know if that.
no.
Hawkins and Graham were the only two that I'm like, oh yeah, when I hear them say that name, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely one of the characters' names. I couldn't tell you right now what Michael Bean's character's name.
No, I have no idea what his name is. Like right now, like we're literally looking at our notes.
I
don't
think
know
we
what his
said
char-
it before, but
Right.
I'm like, it's already escaped me again.
I'm not going to scroll up to the top of my notes to Stephen check because I don't care. The only one that I actually could remember is Chief. He's the only one whose name is said over and over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No one else says their names all that often.
No, this is wild. You could ask me like, what is Marty McFly's brother's name?
Yeah.
And I could remember that, or like, what's his dad's name? And like, I don't know why. So I don't know why it is that some movies, like,
Yeah. I know.
you can remember. I don't know. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so elsewhere on the aircraft carrier, I guess, Sheen is like posturing with his pistol in front of the mirror, like
it's just
quick drawing and pointing at the mirror, like
fucking taxi driver level
Yeah.
weirdness.
what the fuck is this?
Right.
I want to see what it looks like to someone else when I'm pointing a gun at them.
Ugh. I'm not sure that the movie really knows what he was supposed
I
to be doing
mean,
in
this is our
moment.
hero,
Right.
and he needs to be like taken off of active duty.
Oh, 100%.
He's a
100%.
fucking Section 8.
Absolutely.
Like, it's crazy.
Needs psychiatric support.
He's got to be one of the least redeeming heroes we've ever seen on this podcast.
And he is not like they try to do. We'll get to it, but they try to redeem him later in the movie. Doesn't work.
I don't know that he even has like I don't know that he changes that much.
No, he doesn't at any point in the movie. Yeah.
There was this is I don't know. This is not a movie that anyone should have seen as many times as I've watched it. But Best of the Best. Do you know Best of the Best? Like a karate flick.
Yeah.
Chris Penn was like maybe the third or fourth lead in the movie, and his character is just a fucking racist piece of shit. And I think we're supposed to think that he's funny,
Right.
Like, but he's saying racist shit throughout,
Yeah.
and it's like that's Charlie Sheen in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like he's a disobedient, racist,
unlikable, sexist.
he's not a team player
Nope.
on the team. It's like there's nothing about him. Yeah, he's a fucking like a sexual predator, as we'll see soon enough. It's like I don't know how it is that we're supposed to find this guy charming. It was like they accentuated all the worst things about Maverick,
Right.
but
A part of me wonders too, because
it's just
Charlie
crazy.
Sheen, famously has
Yeah.
never been a good person.
and he was deep in his bullshit when this movie was
Exactly.
getting made.
Yeah, I mean, and Brenda, the producer, didn't want him.
Yeah.
Like in her memoir, she goes,
This guy's a piece of
she's
shit.
got a whole section about Navy SEALs and is not shy about talking about what a douchebag Charlie Sheen is and how she didn't want him on the movie.
I
Even
think they
calls him
managed to-
ugly at one
I
point.
think they managed to get him, and they're like, "Holy shit,
We've got Charlie
Sheen.
Yeah, yeah.
We can't not cast him if he's
Right.
willing to do it."
And then I was reading something about how his writers just had the most insane requirements.
Oh, yeah.
And then he abused the budget by hiring a personal trainer,
Yeah,
which
I
was
got some good notes on
Oh
that.
my
later.
God,
But it was
dude.
somehow not even a personal trainer. It was more like just a personal drug deliverer,
yes, exactly.
or maybe
yeah.
hooker deliverer.
Yeah, because it was just all happened with that Madam in Hollywood thing.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
Just-
well, we can talk about
We'll-
that
we'll
afterwards.
get to it,
We're
but-
getting
like
off
there's
topic.
there's almost you could almost make a movie about the making of Navy SEALs.
Did I ever tell you? Fucking hold on, I got to remember what it was. Did I ever tell you about my idea for like a stoner time travel movie?
Hot Tub Time Machine?
No, but it was two people who were trying to go back in time and prevent Tango and Cash from having ever been made.
I love that.
I love it as a
I am
concept
on board.
because it was one of these where maybe like this movie where there was a million reasons why this movie should have fallen apart. And somehow they kept powering through to produce a terrible movie.
I know.
And it's like you kept having directors getting sick and pulling out and this and
Just-
that,
right.
people, whatever. And it's like, what if it was two stoners
I
who
mean-
were trying to sabotage the production?
They literally hired Richard Marquand and he died before principal photography started.
He'd rather die than make this movie. No. Okay. I'm sorry. So we got sidetracked there. big
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
But
yeah.
We got Charlie Sheen. He's just quick drawing and pointing his gun at the mirror, doing God knows what. But Michael Biehn enters. He seems only mildly concerned about this
Right.
very alarming behavior. He's like, am I interrupting something?
Right, exactly. This is not the time to be flippant. This is the time
Yeah.
to you're
We need
off
to
active duty.
refer you to
Yeah.
the psychologist
Yeah, yeah,
or whatever. But so Michael Biehn, he hands Sheen this dossier on the bad guy Shahid. Sheen looks in and he's like, man, I could have used this a week ago. Yeah, like we said, I don't think these guys knew who this guy was. So I don't think there's any reason why they should have either killed him or taken him out.
Yeah, I don't know that. I feel like at this point, Bean is just sort of
I don't think he's
passing
mad. I
shit
don't
down
know
the-
that he's even mad at Sheen. I think
No,
he's
no,
just
no.
like, hey, look, this is the fucking guy we have.
right. He's just venting to
Yeah.
to his I guess co-commanding officer. I don't even know really what the hierarchy of this team.
I feel like
is.
definitely Bean seems to be the guy
He
in
does
charge.
seem to be the guy in
He's I
charge.
guess, the more senior of the two
Yeah,
lieutenants,
yeah,
but they have
yeah.
the same rank.
right, exactly.
Anyway, so Sheen is super fucking jittery.
Yeah,
He's says, I still haven't come down from that adrenaline rush.
and I love the line. It's flowing right through me, boss. Right through me.
Now, granted, a lot of stuff was flowing through Charlie Sheen
Oh
at
my
that
God,
time.
so
but
much.
They say there's no high that can compare to that adrenaline rush of combat or whatever.
believe that.
We
I
were
believe
talking
that.
about Hurt Locker
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you get addicted to that and you go back to the world.
Yeah.
And it's this is
This
that
is so boring.
scene. That
Yeah.
scene at the end of Hurt Locker when he's in the grocery store and just looking at that wall of cereal boxes, and you understand it.
Yeah.
I think that's the closest I've come to understanding is how can I go back to this?
Yeah. How do I go back to this?
pretending
Right.
any of this shit is important?
Right. Exactly.
Like when I've been in a life or death struggle where I took someone else's life.
Right.
You know,
right.
and they tried to kill me and they failed and I
Right.
killed them.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just
And I've seen my friends literally get blown up inside of their bomb bomb.
yeah, it
suits,
was
and
fucking
it's just-
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But I think you can get addicted to that.
Oh, I believe it. No, I
So-
100% believe it.
So Bean is saying, to Sheen, you got to get that under control. And Sheen is like, it says some shit are we done with the lecture?
Yeah.
Or whatever. He he really does need to get it under control.
He really does.
Like, you should not be out here killing for thrills.
Right.
That's fucking crazy
This
shit.
is a problem. Yeah.
Their relationship is weird, though, between the two of them, because it's like he's like a big brother type of role
It's just-
almost. He's clearly in charge, but he doesn't outrank him, so I'm not sure if he can really bust him, like tell him what to do or not. I don't really know.
It's frankly unclear to me what any of the relationships are. And this is one of my favorite parts, too, is that, like, we talked about how there was, approximately the entire population of a small country partially wrote the script at one point. One of the rewrites was sent to Goldman, I think, and it was his responsibility. No, it wasn't Goldman. It was one of the other writers to add a little bit more character into the characters to flesh them out more. And I'm like, well, you failed.
Yeah.
You failed.
There's nothing. It's just a whole rogues gallery of one-dimensional characters.
I know.
But so we cut back to Washington, D.C. We're at the Pentagon. On video, we're seeing this journalist, Claire Varens. That's the Joanne Whalley character.
Mm-hmm.
She's interviewing this guy, Shahid. It's a timely subject matter because he's calling out like the hypocrisy of American foreign policy.
So, okay, this is, again, it's just, we're gonna have to pause over and over again here on this, right? So is this a brand new interview because his hair is completely different?
I feel like it was a while back. I feel like it's supposed to be like this happened years ago, perhaps.
Right.
And we're like brushing up on who is this guy. He's like the new terrorist on the block.
You would think that a terrorist so effective that he actually gets an interview with an American journalist that they put on ABC News or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd think people would remember what this guy looked like.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know,
I guess these guys aren't sitting. They're not sitting around watching 60 Minutes. I guess
I guess they're not.
They're too busy getting blackout drunk.
Yeah, right.
Passing out on the beach.
Oh, anyway, I saw this and I'm like, wait. So this guy was a known.
You're
threat.
right. He's got to be one of the top 10 like most wanted in the world.
Exactly. Like they have to have this guy just burned into their brain on the off chance they run into him. Right.
You're quite right.
It's just like I can't steel man this. Like there's no. It's just bad. It's just bad.
So the journalist Claire, she's being pretty tough with him, questioning, like if all your bullshit that you're saying, like, does that justify killing innocent civilians?
Mm-hmm.
And her questions are like tough but fair. I feel like she's clearly not a fan of his.
Mm-hmm.
She's accusing him of being responsible for this bombing of the Marine barracks in Beirut in 1983, which was a real life event.
Real.
Yeah. And he's like, so that came only after the Americans bombed our like civilians, which is probably quite true. I mean, we got Israel's bombing civilians in Lebanon right as we record
this. The United
this.
States has killed plenty of innocent people in Iran at this point.
But yeah, the Beirut thing is like real, and it's something that the writer Farrer like witnessed firsthand. Like that was his experience was being deployed in Beirut at that time.
Right.
So the tape pauses. We suddenly see we're in this conference room at the Pentagon. Intelligence guys are saying, this guy Shahid, he's like the new kid on the block. He just broke off from another terrorist group. He's formed like his own faction, which they know very little about. Michael Biehn is there. He's sort of shaking his head. He's frustrated that they didn't have this intel when they needed it. So the guy running the meeting, who I would assume is somebody who's like probably like some sort of high up intelligence director.
I assume he was the Secretary of State or the Secretary of Defense.
He's got to be pretty high up.
They don't identify who he is.
I reckon he's probably like one tier below Secretary of Defense.
Right.
Like, but a guy who's like
he's adjacent to the president.
He probably is in meetings with the
meetings.
president. Yeah, for sure. So that guy, he's like, how does this reporter Claire seem to know so much? And they tell him, well, Claire's she's half Lebanese. She's like super plugged in. She's got sources over there that we could never match or whatever.
I call bullshit on this. You're telling me
the CIA
CIA has less intelligence than a half Lebanese journalist who the only thing that gives her an advantage is that she's half Lebanese.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's the least of our problems.
So this movie, like whatever message it was trying to send, it failed. But the message that it does, for me, accidentally send is that the U.S. intelligence infrastructure is bad at its job.
Well, that's proven itself out in in real life as well.
Like,
so I guess it's accurate. at least it's realistic. That might be the most realistic thing about the movie. I don't know. But we can see as all this is happening, like Michael Biehn is forming a plan in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But they say, we've only just learned that this Shaheed has this warehouse of Stinger missiles. The guy in charge will run in the meeting. He suddenly turns his ire onto Biehn, saying he should have destroyed those missiles. But Bean's commanding officer steps in to his defense, says, he was making a decision under fire. And the guy's like, Navy SEALs are paid to take risks. They're paid to get shot at. They're paid to die if necessary, which was I have a DVD and it had the trailer. And that was definitely the lead in, I think, to the trailer.
Yeah.
But so Michael Biehn finally speaks up. He requests permission to take his team back in to eliminate Shaheed, which is fucking crazy. I don't think SEALs request missions.
Nope, that's not their job.
Nope. So the guy in charge is like, that decision is going to be up to the president. End of scene. So back in Norfolk, Biehn and his commanding officer are talking. The commanding officer is assuring him, no one's blaming you. But although the previous scene would beg to differ.
Right, right. Yeah. Where they explicitly blame him.
This scene is weird to me. Because it's this has to be another day. They're in different clothes than they were in, but it seems like it ought to have come as they're walking out of the Pentagon. So I don't know. But I guess they were we have an opportunity to shoot on the Navy pier or whatever in Norfolk with battleships and stuff in the background. So we got to do it.
I got to take it.
So Biehn is I'm not concerned about the blame. I'm concerned about getting those missiles back. And the CO says the Stingers, they've certainly been moved at this point, which of course they have.
Yeah, of course.
They were probably moved 2 hours after they left.
Right,
so
exactly.
all of his I want to go back is
it's pointless.
It's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they say basically, now we're going to have to wait for the intelligence community to find out where, which that's for sure true, I think. So there's no mission to go on right now.
And as bad as they are, it's unlikely they're ever going to find these fucking things.
So the CO is it's out of your hands. You're an operator, not a policymaker. And that sort of sums up one of my primary gripes about the movie in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Is the purpose of Navy SEALs is to be order followers.
Right.
Not decision makers. Which that doesn't make for interesting movie characters, though.
Right.
I think if a real SEAL acted like Sheen, he'd get shit canned quick.
Oh, so fast. Yeah, exactly. You're a liability. We need someone who's going to follow our orders and not think about it.
Yeah.
Make decisions in the moment to execute the mission we want you to execute.
Yeah.
And that's it.
You don't think about the why.
No.
You don't think about it's not personal.
No.
Or whatever, but it's probably why there haven't really been great Navy SEAL movies ever made.
Wow.
But yeah, by the nature of their purpose, I feel like the SEALs are just an instrument in the Navy's arsenal of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably emotionally detached from the missions they go on. They're not calling the shots on what missions they do. It's fucking crazy. Some of the shit that happens later in this movie, it gets fucking insane.
Just right.
But Michael Biehn, he's frustrated that they didn't get the missiles and they didn't get Shaheed when they had the chance. His CEO's none of you would have come back alive, which I agree 100%.
100%.
I think that's what would the Navy have preferred? To lose everyone, but we got the missiles, or get our SEAL team back?
Yeah.
So the guy orders Michael Biehn and his team to go get some R&R.
Yeah.
Here we go. Is this the most memorable sequence in the movie for you?
It was when I finally saw this the first time, I was so absolutely flummoxed by what was going on, but also completely engaged at the stupidity of the whole thing.
Then we fade up the music. The Boys Are Back in Town cover by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
The team has apparently taken over a golf course, right? I feel like this had to be a blast to film.
Oh, 100%.
100%. We were talking earlier about Clerks. This bit was referenced in the movie This Is the End, where one of the guys was explaining what their day had been like. He's like, it was like the golf scene from Navy SEALs. And the dude's like, oh, sick reference, bro. Sick reference. If I can find that audio, I'll stick that in right here as well.
Oh, we just hung out all day.
Ate a bunch of dirty burgers and smoked about a fucking pound of weed and played a bunch of video games.
Weed is tight. Weed is tight. That's awesome.
It's awesome. Weed is awesome.
It's like the golfing sequence in Navy SEAls.
Sick reference, though, bro.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Dude, your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
So Bill Paxton apparently directed this sequence, which is fucking crazy to me.
So my understanding from what I researched is Paxton saw the script and as written, they were going to be playing flag football, like not even real football, flag football.
Yeah.
And
they thought it was too derivative.
It was too derivative of the volleyball scene.
Top Gun, right?
And it's like, we need to do something completely different. And so he's like, I want to do golf. And they're like, I don't care. I don't want any part of this. And Paxton was like, great, I'll go and direct it.
That's crazy to me that the director was not on set these days.
Did not have anything to do with this whole sequence, apparently.
What was he doing? Every principal actor was right here.
I have no idea.
But, you know who didn't think that a football game was too derivative was Top Gun Maverick, because they stuck the football game in.
They did put a football game in it. Yeah, that's right.
But yeah. The SEALs, though, they're half naked, like fucking shit-faced, playing some variation of golf.
It's unclear what game they're playing, but it does involve golf clubs and golf balls.
All except the guy that got shot in the last mission, who is never seen again.
He's gone. He's done.
So, but yeah, this movie's beach volleyball sequence. It's like we got to show that the guys have a fun, sporty side to them.
Right.
Rick
right.
Rossovich in both scenes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, did you see Rick Rossovich was wearing this T-shirt that said Martini Ranch?
No,
on it, which was
that passed by me.
A band that Bill Paxton was in before he like got bigger as an actor.
Great.
Or whatever.
That's great.
But yeah, we got like horseplay galore. The guys are drunkenly fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
They're like fucking littering all over the course, like chucking beer cans and like disturbing the deer. They were random deer, like extreme deer close-ups. Sheen is like the only one who's dressed for golf.
Mm-hmm. He really is legitimately in like loose khakis, a polo.
Yeah.
He could actually have thought, well, we're just going to go play real golf. And then he shows up.
Other dudes are like in short, like neon shorts and tank tops and shirtless.
Not wearing shirts at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Bill Paxton was wearing the same shit he wears in every scene, which is just like sweats and a Navy SEALs hat or whatever. But I have pictures of my dad, like from this era, dressed exactly like these dudes.
Oh,
like
really?
Hot pink shorts,
wow.
way too short, fucking ball sack basically hanging out.
Yeah.
So we got the quiet guy Rexer. He's in the background of almost every single shot, just absolutely crushing beers. And Chief's fiance Jolena is there for some reason, filming all the hijinks, wearing a big old fucking like Blossom hat.
Mm-hmm.
I was also bothered by the fact that she seemed to be like using the same camcorder that the SEALs were using. Although maybe it is like the SEALs camcorder.
I mean, maybe it is. I mean,
it could be.
They had to have brought it back with them unless they popped.
Maybe
the
it's
tape
theirs for like
out
personal use
I
as
have
well.
no idea. Yeah.
But yeah, they're fucking around and they're playing polo in the golf carts, which then turns into like bumper cars. Like when I was a little boy watching it, this seemed fucking
like just
amazing,
dude.
The best time you could ever have.
I was working at a gig a few years ago, and they flew the whole company down to Orlando and rented out a ton of like mansions in a resort community.
Oh, shit.
And then leased like 4 or 5 golf carts. And me and my cohort of people didn't steal, but we like took the keys to one of the golf carts and just didn't give the keys back for the whole weekend.
Okay.
Drove everywhere on that golf cart, like just across golf. I mean, it was just
awesome.
A riot. It was literally everything that you thought it was as a kid, 100% true.
Oh, yeah. So at some point, Rick Rossovich and Sheen like run one guy's cart like into the lake.
The lake.
Which is fucking amazing. I do feel bad for whoever's got to clean up after these bozos, but then they roll up on Michael Biehn, who's like seems to be dwelling on the past. He's just drinking beers and stewing on it like a sad drunk.
A sad, mopey loser.
And for the third time in this little 2-minute sequence, they call Sheen Hot Shot.
Yeah.
Which made me wonder, like, had he just booked Hot Shots and they were like fucking with him?
When was Hot Shots? Was that
the next
91?
year? It was the next year.
Oh yeah, that's got to be the case. That had to.
I was like, they've called him Hot Shots 3 times in this golf sequence.
I 100% would believe that is true.
It was wild. So Sheen is like saying, "You're still thinking about the past? That's old news, man. We go in there, we hit them and forget them."
Accurate.
I think that's actually accurate, and it's a nice line.
Yeah.
Sheen tells him, if you're feeling some kind of way about it, go do something about it. And then Sheen drives off. Michael Biehn pulls a copy of Claire's book out of the console
Why?
of the golf
What?
cart.
What? I don't. This is just like
There's no fucking way.
the only reason it's there is because the movie needed it to be there for reasons
That is the most far-fetched thing that happens in the entire
absolutely
movie.
preposterous.
Is he brought her book out to the golf course today?
And like if he, I mean, like they could have anchored it or justified it a little bit if they had been giving him shit about bringing the book, right?
Something.
Like it's
There's
just
no
it's
way you
so
just
out
brought
of
out
character.
her hardcover.
Right. It just it was
to the-
so stupid. It was so stupid.
But so elsewhere, Chief and Jolena, they found a quiet place in some bushes. They're having a heart-to-heart after he left her at the altar earlier.
Yeah.
She's asking if, marrying her is really what he wants. And he says, it is, but you have to understand, like, my job, what my job means, essentially. They didn't give this subplot enough attention, because this is, like, the most compelling aspect of a Navy SEALs movie, I think, is, like, exploring that psychology of the people who choose to do this. And like how it affects their relationships and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it takes all kinds, right? I mean, maybe she is addicted to the thrill of being in a relationship with a soldier man, right? Like, either
or
way,
she could be a patriot, and she's like, I'm supporting him as me doing my part.
Maybe
to help the country. I don't know.
All I know is that it was hard for me living in 2026 to look at this movie in the 90s and think anything but that this is a toxic as fuck relationship and it should not exist.
Well, so Jolena assures him, she understands and she's in it like for the long haul.
Right.
And they start like making eyes at each other. And I just was wondering, like, do you think they fucked in those bushes?
100% they did.
that's a no-brainer. Okay. Now, back out on the golf course, Sheen is taking this long putt, but he looks up to see that his like classic red convertible is being towed out of the parking lot.
Okay. I've had a car breakdown and had to be towed on a flatbed.
Yeah.
It takes like a half hour to get the car up and situated and strapped down. Where were you for the entire half-hour process?
We don't. He's so drunk. That's what I gotta say. He's so drunk.
The steel manning to all of the nonsense of this movie is he was just so drunk. He was so
drunk on missions. But yeah. So we shift back into action mode. Sheen like yells and screams. He chucks a golf club that impressively like hits the truck. He runs after her on foot, but the truck is like gone. So he grabs this conveniently placed bicycle.
It's not even a bike rack. They're literally just a bunch of bikes
leaned up. Who do these bikes belong to? Why are they there?
Unclear.
But so this fucking terrible song cranks up.
Oh my God.
It's called Strike Like Lightning by Mr. Big was the song. Pure 80s like hair metal shit.
Just such garbage.
Written by Giorgio Moroder, though, who wrote half the songs on the Top Gun soundtrack. So I feel like they just reached out to Moroder and were like, you got any bullshit that hasn't been used?
Hey, got any tracks that you wrote for Top Gun that didn't get used for Top Gun? Yeah.
Yeah. But Sheen hops on this bike. He's riding like hell, catches up with the truck. He gets from the bike onto the truck. It's like a classic, probably stuntmen love doing shit like this, I think. So the tow truck driver he's driving with headphones on, completely oblivious. As Sheen like creeps forward, he grabs the little remote control that controls the flatbed. He gets in the driver's seat, cranks up the engine, tilts the flatbed forward. We can see where this is headed.
Right.
Suddenly, though, there's this big rig right behind the truck that came roaring up behind them like a fucking maniac.
What is going on right now?
Yeah. Sheen, like, briefly panics, but I think it's too late to do anything different.
I guess I'm going to do this.
So he rolls the car off the flatbed onto the road while it's driving down the road, throws it in reverse just ahead of, like, the big rig.
Yeah.
Fucking incredible stunt.
Great stunt.
It's unbelievable.
It's a great stunt.
That's the second time that there's just been a stunt in here that you're like, this is fucking great.
Like, this movie does not deserve this stunt.
No, that should have been in a better movie.
Right, yeah, 100%.
Because, like, I mean, I'm sure the big rig, it was not a big rig, but a camera truck that was shooting when he did it.
Yeah.
But there was still a truck
still
close. Yeah, that shit was fucking great.
Yeah, it was a great stunt. Yeah.
So now he's driving in reverse right in front of this big rig. He whips a 180 and then quickly pulls the car off onto a side street. Sheen is fucking pumped.
Yeah, man.
It was spectacular
It was
stuff.
a great stunt, man.
Yeah. So now it's sometime later. We're at SEAL Command Center. It's a very odd looking location.
It looks like Mission Control from NASA.
It was like a bunker,
Yeah,
right?
dude,
it was
it's-
like underground.
It's like an inverted wedding cake, right? It's like tiered.
Yeah.
They've got like 4 or 5 projector screens on one side. What looks like a server room on another side.
I think it was all meant to be like an underground bunker.
Yeah.
Like I feel like all the exterior was just like a doorway and a stairwell going underground.
It was the most. Clearly, the production designer was given the direction, make it look cool military.
Sure.
Like just
It was so dark.
yeah.
All the walls were like black. It was just wild. But so the team is getting briefed on their next mission. It's a chance to retrieve the Stingers. The missiles, supposedly, they're on a ship at sea headed for Lebanon, filled with a bunch of like Muslim pilgrims.
Right.
Plenty of potential for a hostage situation.
Yeah.
So their mission is to quietly infiltrate the ship, find the missiles, avoid any type of international incident. It's a strange mission because, like, basically they're just going in to have a little look-see.
Right. Yeah. It's just a little bit of a looky-loo.
Because it's like, if you find the Stingers,
Don't
then
do anything.
call in the bomb disposal people.
Yeah.
And Sheen is like, sounds like a real pleasure cruise.
Oh God, the one-liners. In this
Yeah,
movie.
Sheen strikes again. So a short time later, the SEALs are on a submarine ready to deploy. I do like the continuity that the sub-captain is the same as the one who turns up again at the end of the movie. But so they're watching on the periscope. All seems quiet on the cargo ship. Michael Biehn tells the team, get ready. We're going in. So they get in their frogman gear. They pile into this little compartment that like depressurizes, I guess, and opens up to the outside ocean. There's like a fucking little capsule on top of the submarine, like one of those little camper,
Yeah.
like travel
that you put on your
things that goes on the
Subaru.
top of the
Yeah.
car. They pop that shit open and deploy these like Zodiac rafts.
I thought this was one of the cooler scenes in the movie, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like I have no choice but to assume this is all pretty accurate.
I mean,
like how they do shit.
Even if it's total bullshit and they don't do that for real, like they did do it for real in this movie.
Yeah,
Right. And it's just like, it's badass regardless of the reality of it. But yeah, I'm watching this going, okay, this is another moment that is actually taken from real. This is like
A real
another
mission.
Yeah, like another real flash
Yeah.
of what the original script was. Yeah.
But so yeah, they pull up alongside the ship. There's very conveniently a ladder built onto the
Onto the
hull of
ship.
the boat.
I mean, maybe that's real. I don't know.
It probably is real, but it's like it's either an amazingly convenient coincidence,
Right.
or maybe they had done the recon work and knew that this was possible.
had to be coincidence because no one has done any recon work at any point during the course of this movie.
I feel like they did deprive us, though, of one of my all-time favorite movie tropes, which is grappling hooks.
Yeah. You
Like, I
gotta love
wanted grappling hooks
Yeah,
to
yeah.
climb up. But they climb up the ladder. Sheen's the first one up, finds the deck filled with like sleeping pilgrims. The team sort of stealthily moves around the boat. They're looking for the cargo hold. They're tiptoeing through all these sleeping people.
Weirdly, there's a goat for some reason.
Unseen off camera.
No, you do. There's like
there's a
one,
goat. You can
there's
see
like
it?
one, like 2 frames. You see the goat.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
I can't imagine any group of 100 sleeping people like that are sleeping this soundly.
Right.
That
no.
they're not hearing a half a dozen guys
like
tiptoeing through or whatever.
Agreed.
Though we do see there's a couple of guys who wake up and do see the SEALs moving through.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like they're up to something, though. They make
Mhm.
like eye contact with each other and sort of nod. Now, the team is moving deeper into the ship. They're searching around for the Stingers. They're not finding anything. They then raid the bridge and take the captain and the crew hostage, which I feel like this went from like a stealth mission to we're hijacking this boat in like 30 seconds.
It's like, well, there goes avoiding international incidents.
So Biehn wants to know, where's the gunman? Where's the missiles? And the captain is like, what gunman? What missiles? This is a merchant ship. We're carrying machine parts.
And illegal refugees. It's unclear to me
I don't
why
know.
there's these civilians on this
I don't
boat.
know if these pilgrimages really do happen and like to various like Jerusalem or Mecca or wherever else.
Sure.
Maybe they are traveling from who knows,
And they're just like, this is
Tunisia or
steerage
Libya
and-
to wherever. But yeah,
Right.
it is not a clearly this is not a boat that's meant to be like
Right.
taking humans.
You've got like
This is like human trafficking.
human
This gotta
chattel
be
like
illegal.
on the deck of this boat. Yeah.
Though the SEALs now get very confused, but I'm like, I feel like it's conceivable that the crew would have no idea
Sure.
that they told us these crates were machine parts, but they're actually missiles,
Sure.
you know, or whatever.
Sure.
I
Sure.
don't know.
I buy it.
The
I buy
SEAls, though, seem to take this guy like, oh, he would know.
it.
But elsewhere on the boat, Sheen and Rick Rossovich, they pop a hatch open. They see there's like a masked man down there rigging a booby trap up to a large crate. So Rossovich, he shoots that guy. He drops a grenade, which explodes. That wakes up everybody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's fucking chaos on deck. Michael Biehn and the other guys, they come running out. Another guy like sort of throws a blanket off, grabs a lady. He's got a machine gun. All of a sudden, it's a hostage situation. Just what they were hoping to avoid.
Void. Yeah.
Right? So this guy, he's screaming in Arabic. Sheen acts like he's going to put his gun down. And Sheen asks Rossovich, what's he saying? And Rossovich says, something about your mother. And Sheen just like shoots the guy without even aiming, like right in the forehead.
Right in the forehead.
Extraordinarily reckless.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't think the hostage's life actually meant anything.
No, I don't think
to Sheen,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I don't think he's. I'm not even sure he's aware that there is a hostage there.
Yeah. And Sheen is like, never talk about mom. Like with pretty decent delivery. But Michael Biehn and the others arrive. They tell him, screen the rest of the pilgrims. We'll get the bomb disposal unit here to check for booby traps down on these crates. It remains odd to me because like explosive work is like a SEAL specialty. Like that's what SEAL training is like this. It's called basic underwater demolition / SEAL training. So I feel like if there's bombs on board the boat,
They're
this
going
is
to be more than capable.
it's right in their wheelhouse of what they're best at.
I have no idea. I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, great, bring it on, movie.
Yeah.
What's the next scene?
So now it's like the next morning, bomb squad guys have arrived. They find the crates are just filled with sand. Which these guys struck me as being like probably real soldiers because
Yeah.
they're bearing about them and their acting skills. And I looked it up, and sure enough, like one of the guys speaking was Captain Duncan Smith,
Okay.
who's now retired, but he was like a producer on. There was a movie that came out called Act of Valor, maybe, or something of
That
Valor.
sounds Acts
a
of
few years
Valor.
ago that had like
That sounds
active
right.
duty SEALs like acting
Oh wow.
in the movie. That was another like attempt at a Navy SEALs movie, but he
Yeah.
was like a producer on it and was a real deal like SEAL guy.
Okay.
He's the guy who's like, Lieutenant, looks like you boys have been had.
Uh-huh.
And I got very confused
Yeah.
because I'm like, wait, what was the bad guy's plan?
It just
Here.
again, I tried so hard to steelman this. Like
They're on board with boxes of sand, but they anticipate that there's going to be a raid, so they're rigging booby traps to the boxes of sand.
right.
And was that was the entirety of the plan?
Here's the only thing I could think of, right? So
you don't even need to put bad guys on board
No.
to
yeah.
trick them.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no need to have bad guys, but whatever. Like let's ignoring that, the plot that I had constructed in my head is that they have a decoy ship, the one with the sand, and the real ship. They leak the information about the decoy ship to
Okay.
send the SEALs to
It's
that
a
one.
diversion.
Yeah, and they still booby trap the diversion on the off chance that the SEAls will trigger it. It's like, hey,
Maybe we take them out.
maybe we take them out. If we
you
don't,
could,
that's
you could
fine.
you almost could have done that though without like. Once we see that the SEAls are on board,
Right.
then we'll rig the booby
Right,
traps.
I know exactly. I mean, like
It just
that's-
doesn't make sense.
That's when it falls apart. Like I can get you on the boat, but I can't make anything after you're on the boat make sense.
It's just dumb.
It's just
that's
dumb.
what it is. It's just dumb.
It's just fucking dumb,
It's
dude.
just dumb. But terrorists are dumb.
No, they are. They're
can
just
chalk
they're
it up to
not.
that.
Yeah, but like famously, again, this is a second mission in the movie that they've been deployed on that's been a failure because of bad intel.
Yeah.
That every mission in this movie is a failure because of bad intel.
Well, this one I feel like was someone intentionally fed bad intel
Yeah,
to the
100%.
intel people, right? This was a
100%.
setup.
Yeah, this absolutely was a setup.
Yeah, this wasn't just like, oh, they didn't you were ignorant. You didn't know this was happening. This was someone tried to trick us.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's where we'll leave it for this week.
We finish it off here.
We're frustrated enough. We're raging.
We're gonna cool off a little bit.
We need a little cool
cooler
down.
heads prevail. We'll regroup for next week.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I love it, dude.
No,
I
it's
love
super fun.
talking. I love talking about the weird ones, man.
Yeah.
They're
No,
the funnest.
this is a blast to watch this movie.
Okay. Well, as always, everyone out there listening, thanks a lot. It means the world to us. When we see those listening numbers, we get excited.
Absolutely.
If by all means, if you're liking what you're hearing, tell your friends about it. Check us out on social media. Drop us a line.
Yeah, hit us up, man. We'll respond.
Make some suggestions. What do you want to hear us talk about next?
What movie do you want us to do? We'd love it.
Yeah, for sure. We're at 6DOS Podcast on Facebook, on Instagram. So check us out there. And until next week, we'll be back.
Strike like lightning.